Is there anybody here that doesn't like being late? Hey. My wife is looking at me crazy. Just pray for me, y'all. Just say amen a lot. So at least if I get knocked upside the head at home, it'll be worth it. But one more time, anybody can't stand being late?
Amen.
Yeah, not a big fan of it. And Sister Shelley, I actually, because every now and then I'm late. Really what I don't like is being late because of other people. Is there anybody? Like, if you on your own, you might be late, but you don't want to be late for somebody else. Can I get an amen for all my, I might be late, but you don't have no business making me late. Amen. But I don't.
Amen.
I don't like being late because, one, I don't want to miss anything. Right? Especially like, I mean, even down, like I like getting to the movies early because I want to see all of the previews of the movies to come. I want to see what's coming out, all that. Anybody else like that? I don't want to miss anything. I like to get there when the first person, if it's a service, I want to see if the folks really know how to worship and sing. I want to see all the pomp and circumstance. If it's a concert, I want to see all the previous acts. If it's a party, I want to get there just in time so I'm not too early where I got to help them set up. And they still working, but just early enough to still be first in line for the food. But I don't like being late. One, because I don't want to miss anything. Second, because I don't like being embarrassed. You know, we don't really do this in the AME church, but in the Baptist church, when you get in late and you got to put up the excuse me finger while you step on folks' toes and try to climb over everybody. Or now you be on video. I don't want to be the person walking in and then somebody that know me see me say, oh, I see you didn't make it to church on time. But I also don't like to be embarrassed. But also I don't like waiting on people. Like when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. Like if I'm all dressed and she's still looking at me, y'all, just... This is not about... Yeah, right. But if I'm dressed, I'm ready to go. You know, somehow I'll delay getting ready because I know once I'm ready, like once my shoes is on and my tie is tied, I'm ready to get out the door. And, you know, I'm like waiting on folks. And then the final thing is, I don't like being left out of anything happening. I don't want to get there and risk having missed something that I really would have enjoyed. Anybody, those four things kind of resonate? Not so much about time, but not wanting to miss anything, not wanting to be embarrassed, not wanting to wait on nobody else, and not wanting to feel like you were left out of something because you did not get there on time. And so because of my lack of taste for being late, every now and then I've implemented a tool, Brother Mark, that I hope that sometimes helps in the timeliness. Sometimes I'll tell the person, not my wife, but other folks, what I'll do is I'll give them an earlier time to be prepared than the time that the event actually happens, so that they can be ready in time for us to get to where we need to be on time versus the actual time that the event starts. Anybody else try that? Sometimes, you know, you say, oh, you know the event starts at 7, but you tell them it starts at 6:30 because you know if you tell them it starts at 6:30, you'll get there at 7:10.
Yes, sir.
But Brother Kwame, something interesting happens every now and then when I use this special timeliness tool. Oftentimes when I give folks just a little earlier time, Dr. Hines, the people that usually would make me late end up being ready on time. Y'all ever had that happen? Like you gave them an earlier time, and this the time they decide to be ready at the right time, and when they're ready, all of a sudden they get restless. They get frustrated. Brother Barry, your wife is up here laughing too. Amen. They start getting irritated, and then they might even look at you and say, "Well, what's taking so long?" All of a sudden, all of the times that they were late, all of the times that they were delayed, all the times that they weren't ready, all the times that you had to wait on them, now all of that goes out the window because now they're ready. All of the time that they were on their own agenda and their own schedule and their own timeline. I'm not talking about my wife. All of this goes out the window because now they're ready. Now because they're ready to go, because their shoes are on and their outfit is on and they got their wallet and all their belongings. Now everything now because it's on their schedule and their time, they're ready to go. And somehow all the times before, when they were on their own schedule, their own timeline. Matter of fact, it gets even worse if the place that you're going is not your priority, but their priority. You ever gone with Brother Barry, I got your back, don't worry. But you ever, somebody that when it's somewhere you want to go, they take their time. But when it's their place, well, this morning, Peter is reminding us that too often we do the same thing to God. That when God has been waiting for us and being patient with us and dwelling with us, that when God has been calling on us and reaching for us and asking us to come to him and calling on us to draw closer to him, that we just take our own sweet time. That when he was trying to call on us and use us, that when he needed us to work, when he needed us to serve, that we were just on our own schedule. Sat on the bed a little bit, watched a little bit of TV, daydreamed a little bit. Peter's reminding us that when the Lord was calling us, when the Lord needed us to be on his time, that we just kind of did our own thing. But somehow when we get our own stuff together, somehow when we need a prayer to get through in the midnight hour, somehow when we're calling on the Lord and we need him to show up for us, somehow when we're ready to do right, somehow when we get our act together, somehow when we're ready to do the things that we're supposed to do and we want our life to come together and we want everything to work out, we start asking the Lord, what's taking you so long? How long is it going to take? I've been crying out to you and calling out to you. Where have you been? But you won't show up. I just want to know, how long is it going to take? And we forget all of the time in our life when the Lord was calling for us, reaching for us, searching for us, asking for us, begging us to show up for him. And we were on our own schedule, our own clock, and our own agenda. Now, for context this morning, Peter is trying to prepare believers for the last days. He's trying to prepare them to know that at any time God can come to reclaim his people, that any time God can show up and be ready to take us home. But there are some people who will mock. They'll look at the time and say, when is God coming? The ancestor said he was supposed to be here. I've been looking generation after generation. My grandmother said these are the last days. My mother said these are the last days. My auntie said these are the last days. Well, when exactly is the last day? As a matter of fact, since everybody's been wrong, I might as well live the life I want to live, do the things that I want to do, act the way that I want to act, because he still ain't came. And since you still waiting on your God to come and he hasn't showed up and came, I'm going to do things the way that I want to do. I'm going to be on my own timeline. I'm going to be on my own schedule. And Peter is saying, no, that's not the right thing to do.